Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to my video again. This is my YouTube channel. That's Jepoy Sub M. So, to clarify, I made this kind of video for my students only so that we could able to implement or promote the distance learning. So, it's not an online activity, but it's a distance learning wherein they could play this video every time they are reading their PowerPoint presentation or module about the topic. So we do this because we have a suspension of classes, and what we need to do is there should be a discussion coming from me, and at the same time their ideas about the topic itself. Okay, so before I start my presentation, I would like to greet a pleasant evening to all my students, the HMC 12 evening for our subject fundamentals in food service operations. So I just want to say that I miss all of you. I miss our classes, and I hope you're helping the country as a good citizens by staying indoor only, and always sanitize yourself, always wash your hands, always make sure that your environment is really clean. Na isa sa mga nagiging dahilan kaya nagkakaroon ng germs or microorganisms because our improper sanitation, and at the same time sa environment din natin. So para matapos tong mga nangyayaring ito, please cooperate, especially my students, to please stay at home. So every activity that we're going to do will be, their deadline is on the class, on the when the class resumes. Okay, even your midterm examination. So don't worry muna right now. What we need to do and to secure is you are all safe from your house. Okay, so we're going to start our discussion. So this is fundamentals in food service. Your topic is about financial requirements in setting up a food service operation. So this topic or this PowerPoint are already uploaded that in your Google Classroom. So every time you're playing this video, kindly please have a run through reading also in your PowerPoint. Okay, so it's just a very short topic because it's all about the financial. So ano ba yung mga objective natin for this discussion? So number one natin is that this topic will able to help the students to identify the financial requirements needed in terms of starting up a food service sector. So what it is very important that you as a student knows already ano ba yung mga dapat yung i-secure once you're planning to build a certain food service sector in the future. So there are certain science and there are certain processes that you need to follow, specifically if you need to secure a certain money from bank or from other people itself. Okay. The second thing is that the objective of this discussion is that for you to have an idea of what are the resources that you need to know once you are dealing with financials, specifically preparations that you need to secure, not only about the documents but also some of the researches that you need to submit if ever you need to borrow money from someone or from the bank itself. Okay, so una natin, on your slide number 2, what you can see there is capital. So we all know that when you say capital, it's the money needed to set up, purchase, and operate a food service institution. So coming from the word itself, capital, in building a business, not only about food service, but any type of business establishment, it's very important that you have the capital, because in capital, that will be the resources that will be used para masimulan yung lahat ng plano na gusto mong mangyari doon sa plano mong business, specifically in your food service. And based on the researches, if you want to start a certain business and if you want to enter a market wherein balik agad yung puhunan if ever sa'yo, sa food service talaga yung pinaka number one advisable, or the food industry, because we all know that Filipinos love eating, and everywhere once you go outside in your home, in your avenue, in your street, in your barangay, or even in the school, in the offices, dami-daming mga food service areas that you can see around the corners. So it's very easy to enter the industry, but it requires a lot of capital. Okay, so on the number two, there are two basic form of capital that you need to remember in the food service. So these are the equity capital and then the debt capital. So unahin natin yung equity capital. So once you say equity capital, it comes from the owner himself, herself, usually from bank savings, securities, real estate, or life insurance. So, at equity capital, ibig sabihin, these are the capital that based from own money of the owner. So sa sariling pera niya, it's in her own pocket. So saan ba nanggagaling mga equity capital? Nanggagaling yung mga equity capital do sa mga properties mo that you own personally, yung mga savings mo sa bangko, yung lupa mo, yung titulo nun, if you will convert it into money, that will be a capital, or your insurance, that serves to be an equity capital, something that a form of money that is by your own property. Okay, so you call it the equity capital. Usually, if you want to enter a business, dapat meron kang ganitong mga capital, because not everything should be borrowed from someone, but there should be an allotted money also from your own pocket itself. Okay, and then we have the debt capital. So that's the second form of capital. Ano ba tong debt capital na to? It's the money borrowed from other sources, such as, but that must be paid usually with interest. So ito, kadalasan yung mga capital na ginagamit halos if they are, want to build a business. Saan ba itong mga debt capital na to? Ito yung mga capital na kung saan you borrowed money from other agencies or sources, such as, ano ba yung mga sources na yon? It could be someone, it could be a bank, most likely mga bangko yan. If you want to put up a business, sometimes ang takbuhan ng mga gusto maging entrepreneur ay ang mga bangko, dahil they are the institution that are capable in producing a money that can be borrowed, but meron tong nakalaan na interest. Ano ba yung interest na yun? Interest is ito yung pinaka nilalagay nung hiniraman mo in a form na kung saan merong exchange siya. Dahil kapag borrowed money kasi monthly mong binabayaran. So meaning, meron kang dapat interest na maibigay doon kasi matagal mong babayaran yung perang hiniram mo itself. Okay? So yan yung dalawang form of capital. Usually in the food service industry, most of the time, based on my own observation, halos kaunti ang equity, malaki ang debt capital. Kasi Filipinos, they are fond of, want to enter the business, but most likely, they are relying their capital sa mga bangko na pwede ng pag-utangan. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga data required to secure the loan? So, ito yung magiging focus natin, okay? So, one of our main focus right now is the debt capital. So, if you want to enter the business and kailangan mo manghiram sa bangko, there are certain data or information that you need to secured by yourself para kapag nanghiram ka ng pera from the bank itself, ito yung mga dapat mong i-secure by your own. Okay? Ano-ano ba yon? Number one, purpose of the loan. So, yan ay nandiyan sa inyong slide number 4. So, the purpose of the loan. What is the purpose of the loan? Why do we need to borrow money? What will be the objective of borrowing a money from this bank? What is the logic? Why they need money? So, everything of it will be boiled down on the purpose of the loan. Bakit ba kailangan mong mag-loan, umutang ng pera? So, it should be so stated as to enable the lender to gauge the potential of the business. So, most likely, ang purpose of the loan, this is the introductory message when you are writing a letter of request that you are going to borrow a money. And dapat strong yung in-statement mo dito. But because this will be the basis of the bank if bakit ka ba manghihiram ng pera sa kanila? Why do you need to borrow money? what's the purpose, what's the essential benefits if they able to provide you that kind of money itself. So like example, to establish the Aquino City Science High School cafeteria as a model school food service system in the NCR, so that it will be on a par with the quality education that it offers. So it's an example of the purpose of the loan. So it you can come up with your own way of how are you going to make your purpose of the loan, but it should be strong, that this strong statement gives the impression to the bank that you deserve the money that you're going to borrow from them. Okay. Number two, the accurate and detailed description of the business. So here, you need to secure a certain document that this will contains the exact location of the business, where it will be established, what specific address, and other pertinent description that can able to describe your business. So unahin natin um, yung mapa and then address. So, ang purpose dito ng bangko is for them to know if the location that you chose for your restaurant or for your desired food service sector is strategic. Doon nila kailangang alamin that kapag ba nanghiram ka ng pera, yung ipaput up mong business, doon ba sa lugar na talagang kailangan yung business na yon, or kapag pinut up yan, this will gain a lot of market share or a large market share. Napaka-importante niyan for the business that your location should be very strategic. It should be very accessible to your target market. It should be very um you know can able to access by all the people that can able to buy your product. At the purpose of that, detailing the description of your business, ano ba yung nature ng business mong gagawin, ano yung mga produkto mong ibebenta doon, ano yung pinaka mode of operation mo, at saan siya nakatayo in the map, is for the bank to see if this will be a very strategic or reasonable thing to do, money to approve for you. Okay. And then number three, you have there the appraisal of the business property. So dito, these you can see mga pictures and materials that can able to strongly support the purpose of your loan request. Okay. So on slide number 5, you can see there are other criteria that you need to secure in order for you to have a financial request or borrowed money from the bank. Number 4 is the feasibility and market study. So, ano ba itong feasibility and market study? When you say feasibility, since I'm teaching feasibility study in CHTM, so I handled most of the time this subject. So, when you say feasibility study, it's about making a business. It should be original. All the things that will be put on the feasibility study are original by your own concept, and this paper will help the reader or the investor to see if the business that you're going to put up is feasible. Once you say feasible, realistic, achievable siya, that if you will put this kind of business, you were going to earn money. And yan ay nire-require ng mga bangko. Kapag maghihingi ka, magre-request ka ng loan or ng pera, they will ask you to provide a copy of your feasibility study or market study. This is where they will able to know all the background, all the ideas that your business will be provided in the market. So, dyan nakalagay yung concept ng business, the name of the business, what's the nature of the business or organizational chart, and also nandyan yung mga marketing activities na gagawin nyo so that you can able to sell your product to your target market, and how much ang kailanganin doon sa feasibility na yon. So, etong feasibility na din, ang magiging basis if bakit ganito kalaki yung pera na kakailanganin mong i-loan. So, yan yung magiging evidence for the bank to see if this is enough money to give you as a borrowed money itself. Okay. And then number 5, the business structure. So napaka-importante that when you're going to loan a money, they're going to see if what type of management type ka. We have 4 types of management, diba? Sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and cooperative. But in the field of business, and if you're going to earn money, tatlo lang yung nagiging form natin. Yung sole, partnership, and then the corporation. So here, you're going to state if what type of structure that you're going to do in the business. So most of the time, yung mga nanghihiram ng pera, they are partnership or sole proprietor. When you say sole proprietor, you are only one in the management of the business, so you are managing by yourself only. When you say partnership, these are two or more, and when you say corporation, this comes with more than two or more than five members, and usually there is what you call the stocks na tinatawag itself. So kapag mga malakihang companies, yun na yung labasan mo. But most of the time, if you're going to start up a business, it could be only sole proprietorship or partnership itself. And then number six, your owner's resume and personal net worth. So here, what's the purpose? So the purpose of the resume is for the bank to see your credibility, to see your professional development or your professional background, to see how credible are you once na pinahiram ka nila ng pera. So, the more na mas okay ang resume mo that you have many experience in building the business or you have the capability that will showcase that you can do this kind of business, then medyo okay sa kanila yon. And then the personal net worth. So, this personal net worth is serves to be one way para makita nila if how much ba yung pera mo by yourself lang. Kasi 'di ba sometimes kaya nga tayo nanghihiram ng pera sa bangko for our business kasi kulang yung puhunan natin. So the purpose of this is to know if talaga bang kulang. So lahat 'yan lalabas do sa personal net worth mo, okay? So those are the things that you need to secure once you're going to render or to borrow money from the bank that you wish to borrowed with. Okay, so on your slide number 6, you can see there the feasibility three part. So gaya nga na nasabi ko, one of the report or document that you need to secure is the feasibility study. And this feasibility study is hindi yan yung ganyang kakanipis lang na papel. It's a very big paper or a very voluminous output wherein lahat na ng ideas about your business ay nandoon. So, meron three parts usually ang isang feasibility study. So, the first one, you have the technical section. So, in the technical section, here in this part of the feasibility study, you are discussing all the technical aspects of your business. Once you say technical aspects of your business, like the name of your business, why is it ganyan yung pangalan ng business mo, your logo, bakit ganyan ang logo niya, bakit ganyan yung kulay niya, bakit ganyan yung shape niya, the type of your partnership, the type of the name of your corporation or partnership, kung ano yan. And also in the technical section here, you're going to detail all the products and services that you're going to sell to the market. So doon nakalagay na din kung ano mga produkto yon, what are those products, their description, their prices, their picture, and even yung menu nandoon dapat. Also in the technical sections, anong itsura ng uniform ng yung mga empleyado, ano yung magiging itsura ng facility ng inyong restaurant or ng food service sector na gusto nyo, gaano siya kalaki, saan ang location niya, ano yung itsura ng loob, what's the design of the facility, ano yung mga services na kailangan. So, more on the technicalities itself, okay? The second one is what you call the marketing section. This in the marketing section, you're going to present here the market survey and also the marketing strategies that you're going to do. So, unahin natin yung market survey. So, kapag gumagawa ka ng feasibility study, one of the most important document is the survey. Survey is a form of questionnaire wherein you render answer from the market depending on the questions. But usually, the questions are based on gusto ba nila yung produktong ilalabas mo? Or gusto ba nila yung ano ba yung mga gusto pa nila na magkakaroon doon sa lugar nila or on that kind of product. At yon lahat ginagather mo dun sa market research mo. Also, ang kasama din doon, yung mga demographic profiles such as ano yung profile ng respondents mo, ano yung profile ng magiging customer mo. Here you're going to identify your target market, how much yung ino-earn nila monthly, how much yung spending nila for that kind of product so that you would know if magkano mo ipipresyo yung produkto mo itself, okay? Also, in the marketing section here, you're going to entail the marketing strategies that you're going to do, such as ano ba yung mga gagawin mong promos? Magpapa-buy one take one ka ba? Gagawa ka ba ng social media marketing mo? Gagawa ka ba ng website? Magkakaroon ka ba ng mga delivery options? Are you going to have a partnership with online platform such as yung mga Food Panda, Grab Foods, Eatigo? Ano pa yung mga, basta it's all about how are you going to strategize to get your market, your customer awareness and get your market share. Para naman makuha mo lang yung mga yun, syempre, you have a very competitive marketing strategy, okay? So, kapag naging prof nyo ako sa marketing ng hospitality and tourism marketing, i-discuss natin yan doon, okay? And then, the last part of your feasibility is the financial section. So, usually, ito yung pinakadulong part ng paper. This translate the two portion into profit or loss. So here you're going to provide the different financial statements such as the income statement, your balance sheet, your cash flow, and also the owner's equity, the changes in owner's equity. So importante dito yung profits and loss statement, wherein dyan makikita nyo magkano yung magiging benta nyo for this year at magkano yung magiging loss, magkano yung magiging expenses nyo for that year. Usually, ang financial 5 years yung pino-forecast niya. Pag sinabi mong 5 years, kung 2020 ngayon, kung magbibigay ka ng feasibility in the bank, it should be until 2025 yung forecast mo. Kasi 5 years yung tinitignan nilang validity years so that they would know if kikita or hindi. Yung pinaka-business. And then, on the slide number 7, you can see there the net worth, assets, and liabilities. So once you say net worth, it's the difference between the person's assets and liabilities. So in that part, bakit ba natin siya dinidiscuss? So the purpose of that slide is for you to estimate your personal net worth. Ano ba yung sinasabi natin personal net worth? Di ba nga gaya na nasabi natin, isa sa mga report na kailangan mong ibigay to the what you call this, to the bank if you need to secure money is the personal net worth mo. So para makuha mo yung personal net worth mo, kailangan mo lang i-divide yung assets minus liabilities. So that is about the net worth. So it's the difference between a person's assets and liabilities. So assets minus liabilities is equals to net worth, okay? So purpose niyan is to see by the bank if you will be capable to pay the money that you're going to borrow at kung yun lang ba talaga yung kailangan mong pera. So if you have a subject in accounting such as yung mga liquidity ratio, yung mga asset ratio, this will help the bank to see if capable ka to pay the money or hanggang kailan mo pwedeng bayaran yung money. So, may mga computations in accounting that they use. But, syempre, hindi natin discuss yun dito. Kapag nagkaroon na kayo ng subject na strategic management in hospitality, which ako ay nagtuturo niyan kapag third year, doon nyo malalaman if ano yung mga financial practices in doing that science. Okay? Yung assets, ang ibig sabihin nun, these are the tangible and intangible properties that a person owns and whose value can be measured in terms of money. So kapag assets, yan yung mga bagay, whether it's tangible, intangible, that can be converted into money. Meaning, pwede mong i-measure by your money. Ito yung pagmamayari mo, kaya nga sabi niyan assets, di ba? Example ng assets natin is yung mga, sometimes yung lupa, yung lupa itself. So, that is an asset kasi minsan minamana natin or minsan talagang sa atin nakapangalan yung titulo. So, that's an asset. Yung mga bahay, yung mga tools and equipment. So, anything that can converted into cash. Lahat ng ininvest mo for the business that kailangan yan to operate. So, lahat yon tawag nyo doon assets. Ang liabilities, these are what person owes to people. Ito yung mga utang niya. Okay? So, kapag minus nyo sila, asset minus liabilities, that's net worth. Okay? And then, on your last slide, you can see there the financial analysis. So, on financial analysis, this is a way on how are you going to analyze your financials in terms of your food service. You can see here that capital investment budget. When you say capital investment budget, includes detailed statement of the investment required for the land, building, furnishing, equipment, and working capital. Ito ay ginagamit as a term in accounting wherein kapag sinabi mo kasing capital budgeting, these are the money that you need to invest or that you need to secure in order to have this kind of capital such as yung mga land, yung mga buildings, yung mga furnishings, lahat ng kailangan mo para mag-operate yung business mo. Magkano yung kakailanganin mo. You do this as a process in the capital budgeting or the capital investment budget. On the other hand, you have the operating capital budget. Kapag naman sinabi mong operating capital budget, these are estimates of the revenue and expenses. Ito naman yung mga expect mong ma-earn na revenue and at the same time, ano pa yung mga magiging expenses mo? Ano-ano ba yung mga expenses in running the business? You have the salaries or the wages. So, these are expenses kasi yan yung mga pasahod mo sa mga tao. Utilities, yung mga bayad mo sa tubig, kuryente, and internet, telephone connection. Also, your expenses in the raw materials or the cost of goods. Yan yung pinaka malaking portion ng operating. Kasi, yan yung tinatawag mong COGS, cost of goods sold. Ito yung kailangan mong ingredients para ma-produce mo yung sales na to. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng COGS itself. And then you have the operating capital. It refers to the money needed to finance the food service facility in its initial operation until such time when a positive cash flow is attained. So ito ay magre-refer if how much money are you going to have for you to build up this kind of food service facility. And usually this operating capital, ito na ay magko-cover hanggang saan year pwedeng mag-grow yung facility nyo itself. Okay? So, yun yung ating financial requirement. So, it's a very short, but I hope you've learned whether it's a little contribution from your end. Okay? Also, nadagdag ko lang, there are certain funding agencies na pwedeng magpahiram ng pera sa inyo. We're in for that kind of borrowing money. So you have there the ADB, the Asian Development Bank. So has launched a program called Unbankables. People to who banks do not lend capital because they do not have collaterals. Also, you can have the Bank of the Philippine Islands, the BPI, one of the country's oldest private banks, has set up a program similar to run by the ADB and the DTI, wherein extend a revolving credit line to various NGOs. So, nagpapahiram din sila ng mga money. And then, the DTI also has this program ng papapagpahiram ng pera. Also, as far as I remember, the city government of Taguig, since our Mayor Lino Cayetano, one of its 10-point agenda is about economic dynamism. It means it's about, putting so much business in the city and making entrepreneur of all and making a Taguigeño to be on entrepreneur. I think meron silang project that they could give you a capital, wherein itong capital na to, hindi ko lang sure if merong interval ng bayaran pero matagal or papahiram lang talaga siya. So this will give the entrepreneur of the gig the chance to build up their own business as long as I think you have this necessary documents that I have to say. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. I will upload this to you guys and I hope you're going to play this video every time you're reading the PowerPoint. And I will upload your activity. There's no deadline. You can submit it when the class resume. At least I gave you an collaborative learning activity. Okay? So thank you so much guys and have a nice day. Thank you. Ingat ka.